Well, I finally got my order in from Mann Lake. And what I got in that order is a fancy store-bought varroa checker. I've been using a mason jar with a screen in the bottom. This should make it simpler. I got wood bleach, which is oxalic acid, to go with my oxalic acid burner. And the instructions that came with that: oxalic acid burner vaporizer. I'm going to see if we can kill some of the varroa. So the instructions say I need to close the hive up and put this thing in it. Put one little scoop in the pot and turn it on. So we're going to get the rest of the things we need together, some safety gear, and we're going to go give her a shot, see what it'll do. Okay, we're going to do a varroa check here with my fancy new varroa checker kit. You got a little scoop for some bees, and the smoker's still smoking. So we're gonna do a check on a hive that's gonna get treated anyway, but I want to check to see what I got in there. We know that one hive with the deformed wing virus is in horrible condition for varroa. We found multiple varroa on multiple bees, so we're going to do a check. And I have a little checker that I made out of a mason jar and a screen on the bottom and a little stick that holds it all together, and kind of hokey, so finally just broke down and bought a regular checker, and we'll see how it does. So we want to try to get in here and find the queen if possible, because it's not really good to do a varroa check on the queen. First off, the queen usually doesn't have varroa because they want to be on nurse bees and be there when they're capped. But number two, the bees don't survive the varroa test. So we're looking for a frame of capped brood to pull some bees off of for the test. The queen shouldn't be on capped brood anyway. But you never know where you'll find the queen. She's got eggs in these. Hello, yellow jacket. Something refreshing about the crunch of a yellow jacket. There's the queen. If I can find my little cage where she goes around to the other side. Around here, Queenie. There. Now I know I'm not going to test the queen, but I need to find somewhere that has worker bees. Alright, we've got quite a few capped here and some open brood. Those should be nurse bees in there. So we're gonna get a scoop of them. Try to get about a half a cup is the plan. Let's see if, hopefully I've got this in the shot. I have no idea. That's not enough bees. There's a little line in here that I got it to. I'm gonna make sure I get them knocked out here first, and then I'll try to show you. Back down in there, bees. Make sure I got to the line. Oh, almost. There's a line down inside the basket. Two lines. One is a 200 bee count and the other is a 300 bee count. So I just kept scooping them in there till I hit the first line. And now we'll shake it. And instructions said to shake it for a while. So I'll probably turn you guys off, get this shook, put them back together, then I'll come back. So after shaking this thing for a minute in all directions, I've got these little red spots on the bottom, and those are the varroa. So I have what looks to be 8 varroa in there. I attempted to put in 200 bees. I think I might have been a little short. So if you divide that out to get your percentage, that would be 4% varroa, which isn't bad for this time of year, but it needs to be treated. So I'm going to attempt to get set up to do that with my oxalic acid vaporizer machine. I will get ready for that here momentarily. All right, we're going to attempt the oxalic acid treatment here. So we've got our wood bleach. This is the oxalic acid. We've got our oxalic acid vaporizer unit. We've got a little scoop to measure with. We have a respirator that's probably more dangerous to breathe with it on your face than off, but some gloves. These are recommended safety equipment, and safety glasses always, but I wear those all the time, so I don't worry about them. With this unit, it needs to hook to a 12-volt system, so I've got it hooked up to my lawn tractor, and hopefully that'll be the right amount of juice for it. All right, so I'm going to set up here, but hopefully you can see kind of what I'm doing. Stinking camera stays and doesn't fall over. I need a better tripod. So the first issue I found with this thing is that the thickness here is a 1/2 inch. Well, I don't believe that I have a 1/2 inch opening on any of my hives, which means I'm gonna have to pry the bottom board up to get it in there, which isn't the end of the world, but it's just one more step. It's a pain. If it's something I'm gonna do, I may end up cutting holes in my boxes to give me a little bigger space, because I don't have thousands to do. But I had issues with disease in my cell builder this year, and it messed up some queens. So my intention next year is all of the boxes I'm working with, breeding with, and building cells with are going to get treated with oxalic acid once a week. I'm not screwing around, I'm not playing with it. They can survive that amount of treatment, and that's what we're gonna do. So I now have my gloves on and my safety glasses. I'm gonna open the wood bleach, get a scoop of it, and put it in the burner. That's all it takes, is one scoop for a single deep. If you've got a double deep, 2 scoops, and so on. And I don't believe they recommend that you go over 3. So we'll go ahead and close this back up before I spill it everywhere. Now, as I said, I've got to pry the box up off the bottom board to slide this thing in there. And you slide it all the way in to there. That's what it showed. Then you need to block up all other entrances, which now go all the way around the darn thing. And the instructions said to just go ahead and use some rags. So I brought some rags, and they're hanging up in the blackberry bushes. All right, we've closed those off. I still have my upper entrance that they're in here, and I believe I'm just going to stick a piece of duct tape over that. Close it up. Now, I believe we have it somewhat sealed. Now the machine has the switch here, and you're supposed to turn the switch on, and then the light will flash quickly. And as it gets close to being done, it will flash slower or stay steady, and then it will shut off. At which point we're supposed to pull it and leave the hive buttoned up for 10 minutes. So the light is flashing. Now it's time to put on the respirator because it's going to smoke. But I will have you guys come back when it shuts off. All right, the light has gone off. And so now we should be able to pull this thing out. We'll go ahead and stuff the rags around the rest of it and leave it set up there for 10 minutes, it says. I don't know how well you can hear me through this respirator, but we'll come back when we unplug it. All right, we've been over 10 minutes now. I went ahead and just stuck it in the one next door here and left it stay in there for the 10 minutes. So we should be able to pull the rags now and see what the bees do. Hopefully their varroas are dead. Well, it's like a few bees probably fell down in it too. But it gets really hot really fast. When I took it out of the other one, it was hot, so just be careful when you're using one to not allow it to hit your gloves or your hands. It would probably go right through your gloves. Well, we will go ahead and let this stuff work a little bit, and then we'll do another varroa check, and we'll do one on this hive that we didn't do one on at all after the treatment. I won't be checking all of mine because I'm going to treat all of mine. It's that time of year when we need to, and like I said, I'm going to get on a real strict regiment with my breeder stuff. Just one of the lessons I learned this year, and I'm going to do a video on that too, on what I gained what I learned through this summer of trying to raise queens. Get that out to you here one of these days. All right, well, if these videos are something you enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It'll help it out. Thanks for watching. All right, I've got the varroa, on a piece of paper here in the house, and I've got a magnifying thing on my phone. So I thought we'd take a look at a few of these guys, and that's what they look like. The legs in the front, they get hold with their little hooks and they pierce the bee and hang on. If they're on an adult bee, they're sucking on the fat body, which is not like our fat body. It's an organ in the bees, and they tap into that and drain them. When they get into the capped brood, the female, which is what these are, will lay one male egg at the top and then go into the bottom and lay female eggs. When the male hatches, he will come find the females and mate with them. And at about that time, the bee will emerge and they can ride that bee out. Well, now that bee is going to be a nurse bee, so they ride along until they can drop into another brood that's getting ready to be hatched. And that's why they like to get into the drone brood, because it gives them 2 days longer. And with 2 more days, they can actually hatch out another round of babies. The male can breed with the females, and those females that were hatched in that cell can also lay eggs. So that's why the drone brood, it gets attacked, is more than the worker brood when they can. Anyway, all you wanted to know about varroa.